energy? Or?
Oh, I mean, it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, we had every intention of playing here, but as you guys know, the weather's not something you can control. And the amount of rain we've received in the past week, as well as what's on the way, the facility and the risk of it not being playable in the outfield is just something we couldn't afford to risk. And we're thankful that Oklahoma City's given us a chance to host this great tournament in a ballpark and in a setting that will be awesome. So as much as we'd love to play here, we're very much looking forward to playing at a place where we have great memories. And kids have great imagery right now in their minds of Bricktown and the crowd there and the experience we had. So, sometimes you got to take situations as they come in front of you and make the very best of them, and that's exactly what we're doing. Administration's been awesome getting this put together in a short amount of time, and we appreciate the NCAA working with us to make sure that our team gets a chance to host a regional in an area that's to our advantage from the standpoint of sharing it with our fans and playing in a great facility.
At what point did you guys start making, realizing you needed to start making some a backup plan?
Well, while we were gone, we've been gone since Tuesday, and it's rained, I think, I don't want to quote me on it, but maybe up to almost 8 inches since then, or 6 to 8 inches. And, as great as this old park is, it just doesn't drain real good. And so obviously the outfield's the real concern. The infield's covered, but it just kept raining. And every night those thunderstorms fired up. Unfortunately, they ran right through Stillwater, just like they did a lot of the state. And so as the week went on and it became concerning that it wasn't going to stop raining, that the outfield continued to puddle to the point where it was so saturated that we weren't sure how we were going to get it to dry out. And so obviously with a tournament of this magnitude, if you're going to have a contingency plan, you got to think ahead a little bit. So while we were in Oklahoma City, we just checked to see if there was any place to play that had a high-level drainage system that could handle the high amounts of rain in a short amount of time. And thankfully Oklahoma City was willing to partner up with us and give us this opportunity.
What, if anything, do you know about your 3 other teams right now?
Well, obviously they're all good or they wouldn't be in the tournament. Seen Harvard before. They're obviously going to come in here very well prepared. I have not got a chance to see film on them, but I don't know a ton about them, but I will by the end of today. Coach Erstead at Nebraska, and have seen a little bit of film on their team. Obviously they're playing in the Big Ten and playing a lot of good baseball. And then Connecticut's a team that for many years has been one of the toughest teams in college baseball, playing the vast majority of their games on the road, and they've had some great players. So they're obviously going to be very comfortable traveling and playing good baseball. So, at this stage in the season, as I've told the kids, the chance to play is what you're fighting for. Who you play and where you play, if that's going to be the only thing that dictates your mood, then you're in trouble anyway, right? So we're going to embrace the chance to play, and Harvard's our opponent in Game 1. It'll be in Oklahoma City, 6 o'clock Friday night. From there, we'll get ready to navigate a tournament just like we did, and bank on the fact the Big 12 tournament prepared us for anything we're going to see in this tournament, and draw our confidence knowing we can handle it.
For OSU fans, it's going to be nice to just be down in OKC with softball just up the road a little bit.
Fantastic. I hope we can set some crazy records this weekend for fans in that area going to see the softball team and coming over to Bricktown. Why not? Let's make this, let's paint Oklahoma City orange for a weekend and make it something we can celebrate. We'll turn lemons into lemonade, right? And just make it something that everybody OSU can get after. And I think we had close to 7,000 fans on a 30-minute notice on Sunday, right? So we got 4 or 5 day notice. Let's pack Bricktown, make it orange, and create some special moments and keep it rolling.
Joe and Colin are the only kids that played in Omaha in 2016, as far as you know. And if they are, just that.
Jensen.
And Jensen. Okay.
Jensen pitched the game in Omaha. Colin was obviously there. Joe was there. I believe Ben Leeper was on the team but injured. But yeah, I think we're down to 3 or 4.
How much do you delve on their experience being seniors and knowing what it takes to get there?
Well, I lean on those kids a lot because they're influential members of our team, because the other players look to them and draw cues on how to handle and react to situations and how to conduct themselves. So I rely heavily on those kids for a lot. Joe Lenhart's a 4.0 student, one of our best pitchers. He's got the best energy. He's an unbelievable teammate. Everything he does shows the others on what this is about. And when it comes to, just going into the postseason and how they'll handle themselves, what they do amongst each other today with their day off and the subsequent days getting ready. As a coach, I sleep easy because I trust those kids, and I know they're gonna make good decisions, and show up here ready tomorrow, ready to get to work. So there's a lot of value in those kids that you could never place a statistic on, but I know what they mean to the team.
You mentioned you thought TCU was a tournament team and wanting more Big 12 teams in. Are you glad to see them get in?
Well, I'm always glad for the Big 12. I mean, I thought the Big 12 was very tough this year, top to bottom. I mean, you could look at every weekend we played, and you're looking across the field at something on the other side that was very good, whether it's a loaded pitching staff or a balanced offense or highly competitive, scrappy team. I mean, every team we played brought a definite something to the weekend that was challenging, but five Big 12 teams, correct? I think that's great. I'm happy for the conference, and there were other teams that were probably very much under consideration. So, 5 of the 9, and I know our goal as coaches is to try to get 5 or 6 year in, year out, because we think we have that kind of league. But for us and West Virginia and Texas Tech to all host regionals, that's a great step in the right direction. I don't remember a year where we've had 3 hosts. I think it's been a while. And Texas Tech got a national seed. They deserved it, and we were obviously right on their heels at number 9. So I think it's a good representation of Big 12 baseball, and hopefully we keep growing that. But yeah, I think whether it had been Texas, TCU, or whomever got that 5th spot, those teams were all in consideration, as it appears when you watch how it played out.
With golf playing so well and softball going to the World Series, it's a great time to be a Cowboy right now, right?
Yeah, they brought that up yesterday, and we are proud of the other teams. We know those kids. We share space with them, whether it's study hall or dining hall or just this campus in general. You're always rooting for your fellow coaches and student athletes and players in here. Really close to a lot of the kids on the other teams. And obviously, Alan Bratton's playing for a national championship, and he sends me a text yesterday after we win. It's just the kind of friendship you have. Same with Kenny. So we appreciate that as coaches. That's uncommon across athletic departments. Not a lot of places do the coaches stop what they're doing and send you messages. But Coach Boynton, Coach Gundy, all the coaches that I've heard from, it means a lot. It's nice that they care about what we're doing and would take time out of their day to send you a message.
You still have to play the regional, but were you surprised to see all the conference versus conference potential super regionals?
Yeah, we got to play Harvard on Friday. Then we'll see what we play on Saturday. And if you get to the next weekend, then you'll just deal with whatever's in front of you. That's how I am. And quite honestly, Coach Tanner, who's the head of the committee, there's no better person to have heading up a baseball committee than a former national championship baseball coach. And from what he said, they paired him up 1 through 16. They seeded him in order, which is what something college baseball has been asking for a long time, was to try to get away from some of the imbalances. And so if they went ahead and lined them up 1 to 16 and 8 and 9 fell side by side, then that's the byproduct of lining them up 1 through 16. So if that's the way it plays out, then you just embrace it.
What's your guys' schedule like this week?
Well, kids are going to rest, that's for sure. We needed it. That was a very emotional and physically taxing day yesterday, and by the time we got back to Stillwater, kids were tired and they need to get a good day off for the week, and then that lets us figure out our plan of attack around here, see who our opponents are, get them on paper, start lining some things up, re-engage the process where we're starting tomorrow, and then from there we'll practice as much as Mother Nature allows. And I believe it'll be a Thursday workout day in OKC on Bricktown's field, and get in tournament play mode.
Colin mentioned yesterday, after being in hotels for about a week, he's looking forward to being back home. You guys back in Oklahoma City, do you handle that or approach that any differently than sleeping in your own beds? Or
we'll get to sleep here for 3 or 4 nights. That's enough. Nice hotels down there. Hopefully we'll be able to set up shop again in the Bricktown area. I think the kids have some familiarity and comfort with it. It'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be great for the teams coming in. So, like I said, would we have loved to play here? Of course, it goes without saying. It's not even a non-topic, but you gotta be willing to adjust, to be flexible sometimes. And there's nobody in the state of Oklahoma that wants this rain or deal with these tornadoes or flooding. Of course, nobody wants it, but it is what it is. So you just make the best of it. And I think we're probably in many ways very lucky that another option was even available. Because the last thing you would want to see happen is have a major tournament being played here and get hit with thunderstorms for 4 or 5 straight more days, and then what are you going to do?
With the field being the way it is, what challenges does that pose to you just trying to practice this?
We have not practiced on this field other than the infield in 2 weeks. So we'll just continue to work on the dry part of the field, which our guys done an awesome job of keeping it dry for us. But you just got to be careful in the outfield. You don't want to lose a player. You know, last time we were on it was the Baylor series. So, yeah, I mean, it's what it is. We got a nice turf facility right up the street here. We can jump on, get stretched out. We'll be ready. That's not a concern. But yeah, you do have to be mindful of it.
Health-wise, how are you guys doing after last week?
We'll find out about Houston's hand tomorrow whenever the X-ray becomes available, and hopefully he's not out. We got hit on the hand by a pitch, but we'll know more tomorrow. Hopefully Bryce Carter feels a little better. Got a second foul tip to the mask this season. Shook him up a little bit. Got to be real cautious with him since head injuries are pretty serious. We don't want to. So we'll be patient there, make sure he's okay. Other than that, I believe the kids are in pretty good shape.
Trevor Boone is a guy you talked about a lot this past week. Was there something that clicked for him that is sort of put him on this ascent?
Trevor is fascinating. He's got great gifts. His hands are strong. I mean, that's a strong set of hands. And you see a guy hit a ball the way he hits it and the way the ball goes. It's a rare strength in his hands. His energy and his motor are off the charts. You can't measure him because he's the highest motor I've ever been around. Never has a bad day. You always have to shoo him out of here. But where I think it started to click is he got a little more centered in what he's trying to do, and he got more consistent. I used to tell him he was a box of M&Ms, like 10 different flavors, and I never knew which one he was going to be. I liked them all, though. But I just needed a little more consistency from him, trying to just get him to zero in a little bit. And I think his focus has improved dramatically. And that's partly him growing up on the mental side of the game, but him maturing just in general. He's got a great personality. But when he really started to get more consistent, he made some swing adjustments to stay in the middle of the field, stopped expanding the strike zone as much, slowed things down. Some things started to come to him. And then from there, his level of consistency has been pretty awesome. And I don't know, but I would think if you look back on like the last 10 weeks, every single weekend he's had a pretty big impact in the games. So that's just a compliment to him for growing up, putting the work in, and being willing to listen and allow himself to be coached, but also, going in the batter's box and doing it when it matters. And he's really grown in that way.